So why is it that some women can't seem to go more than a week without having men falling all over them and getting into great relationships, whilst you really struggle to meet anyone who seems nice? I'm dating coach Hayley Quinn, and in this short video, I'm going to be talking to you about 7 feminine energy hacks for more successful dating. Now, trust me, I am not the most woo-woo person in the world, so when we start to talk about energy, I'm a bit like, However, I think there's some really great principles here in terms of how you can start to interact with men in a way that's more effective, that's going to get them to relate to you in the way that you want. Some might call it feminine energy, others might call it amazing female game. Whichever way you want to look at it, hopefully these tips are going to empower you to find that incredible relationship that you deserve. So my first hack is the most infuriating of them all, which is wait and see what happens. Yep, we're going to have to ditch the over planning, ditch the anxiety, ditch pushing for an outcome, and instead get into the frame of mind where you're going to be zen, sit back, and observe what outcome is actually happening. Now, in dating speak, this is really difficult. It could mean, for instance, that there's this guy that you really like, you're not sure if he's going to message you to hang out over this weekend, and so you start messaging him and seeing what plans he's got. What you're effectively doing is, instead of sitting back and witnessing how he would show up for you, you're intervening because you really want a particular outcome. You really want to hang out with him. Now, the only issue with you jumping in and intervening is you'll never actually know what would have happened if you didn't. And sometimes by sitting back and observing, you actually get the best kind of data or the best information about how open and available and ready he is to have a relationship with you. So it's good to get away from this idea that all action has to be positive. Actually choosing to not do anything and observing what arises is still doing something. In fact, sometimes it can even be the hardest thing to do. My second feminine energy hack is to get into the habit of receiving. Now, I know this sounds a little bit sexual, and as someone who was a self-made entrepreneur, a real go-getter, that whole idea of like asking for help and assistance literally made my toes curl. I was so self-reliant. But also when you're forming a partnership, really that is about interdependence to a degree. And because of that, in order to form that bond with someone, it can actually be really good to be more open to relying on people again and not feeling like you have to do everything yourself. That doesn't mean that you can't do it yourself. It's just that you recognize that a lot of the best things in life are best worked on collaboratively. So how can you get more used to receiving? It could be as simple as when someone pays you a compliment, instead of saying, oh no, this old thing, it's awful. Instead of flat batting the compliment, could you just simply say, thank you? Also, to get into the habit of receiving, could you actually start to ask people for more help and assistance? Again, this doesn't mean that you can't do it. It doesn't make you weak. We know you can go out there and kick butt. But sometimes asking people for help, again, puts you in this right frame of mind where you're able to receive someone who wants to show up and partner with you and make your life better. My third feminine energy hack is to develop a positive expectation about what may happen next. Again, this is a really tricky one because, we've all had not so great experiences with dating. When we've had that, it's very easy to slip into a state of mind of thinking, well, he's probably just going to let me down. God knows if he's going to get back to me. I really liked him, but I don't know if he's going to want another date. Instead, I really want you to think about developing this high confidence female mindset of starting to really trust in your own self-worth and being like, well, I'm really great. So, if he's in the right space to have that relationship with me, then yeah, I expect him to show up and make that happen. So you start to develop a deeper sense of trust within yourself. And if you do want some more advice on how you can develop this super high confidence female mindset, it is super useful, especially on tricky issues like commitment and how to get to that. I would highly recommend you head over to hayleyquinn.com/real love and enroll in my free 3-part video mini training that's there. I will put the link right below this video. Okay, so my fourth feminine energy hack is to lean out. Now, this again might feel counterintuitive. So it's kind of like when someone does something that isn't cool, like perhaps they let you down, they're a bit flaky around a plan, they try and hang out with you last minute in a way that just doesn't fit how you would like to be dated. Sometimes it can be really tempting to send what I call the epic long WhatsApp message, or the epic long WhatsApp takedown, where you in detail explain every area that he's going wrong with. However, often what will happen then is, as you get angry and as you let him know about that anger, you can actually end up feeling more tied to the situation. It can just be a drain on your own energy and resources. So instead, I want you to think about how you can flip that around and learn to signal to him, hey, this isn't cool, through your behavior. My fifth feminine energy hack is to give him space to lead. Now, again, I'm not saying that women are not capable or natural leaders. I don't believe in that at all. However, it can make a guy who's interacting with you feel really good about himself, to know that he can make a plan, that he can try and do something, that he can impress you and kind of win you over a bit more. So we want to give him space that he's actually able to do his thing and be able to step forwards, because that's just going to feel really nice for him, and it's good for him to feel good about himself. And if he feels good about himself when he's interacting with you, this is going to be a great feedback loop for you to create for the relationship. You also fundamentally want to attract a partner who is able to listen to your needs and feelings. So that could be something as simple as you stating a preference instead of a specific plan. So instead of saying like, so can we meet at 3 p.m. Sunday? There's tickets to this cool thing I want to go to. Could you say instead, my Sunday's looking free-ish, I'd really like to do something creative, or I really fancy some nice warming food. So by stating a preference, it gives him enough of a hint that he can then confidently develop a plan around that preference that meets your needs. You can also then look and see, hey, is this guy listening to what my preferences are? Is he trying to create an experience for us to share in which reflects those preferences? Okay, so my sixth feminine energy hack is to be receptive when you do get opportunities. I know what it's like. There might be some amazing guy who just couldn't give you the relationship that you want, that you're now hung up on. It could be that you've got a very fixed idea of who your Mr. Right could be. Instead, actually moving away from these rigid ideas of what could be right for you and being open to experiencing people. And again, going back to looking out for who shows up for me as my best partner is a really great way to approach dating. So if you do have men that are interacting with you, you can see they're making an effort. They're trying to create a high quality date for you. They're being really communicative, really consistent. I would say to give these guys a chance, I know that you might be worried about wasting your time, but honestly, get into the space where you just enjoy the date for what it is. Enjoy being adored, enjoy going on nice experiences, enjoy getting to know different people. And you may surprise yourself if you get 3 dates in with someone who you were like, not too fussed about at the beginning, that by that stage you can actually really connect with him, and you may surprise yourself about who you like. So look out for people who are showing up for you, ready and able to give you the partnership that you want, and be receptive and open-minded to those opportunities as they arise. My final feminine energy hack is to keep the tone of your messages, your conversations, how you interact with people, warm and playful. This isn't to say that you can't be strong, or that you can't be powerful, or that you can't communicate in a different way. However, warmth and playfulness in the area of dating, and I would say this to guys as well, can actually be a really great way of signaling that you're not that emotionally attached to the outcome of something. It's just not that important to you to get this huge reaction out of you. So keeping the tone of your messages light and playful will really help. It also shows him when he's engaging with you that you're receptive to that you're approachable. This will help you to meet more guys, even if it's something as simple as the messages you send on a dating app. If you can make yours playful in tone, they'll immediately stand out from all the more boring and logical chat that ends up in people's inboxes, and it will help you to stand out. So focus on cultivating a warm and playful tone in your messages and in how you interact with someone. Enjoy, dare I say it, going with the flow, enjoying seeing how people are showing up for you. Focus on yourself before you focus on them. And you may find that that great guy shows up for you just that little bit more quickly.